The Northern Metropolis has been planned. It is an land area right next to the border of Shenzhen, which is now one of the technology capitals of the world. Now, people, when they come to Hong Kong, they think Hong Kong doesn't have land, but we do. The Northern Metropolis is a new piece of land that is now being constructed. We already have the infrastructure in place. It's 30,000 hectares at the northernmost side of Hong Kong. So what does it give the opportunities to? It can house advanced logistics. It can house education hub. We will have new universities in that area. It will also be a very big base for research and development and collaboration with Shenzhen. Now, just across the river into Shenzhen, it only takes 10 minutes to walk across on some footbridges we're building, in addition to the existing infrastructure, such as trains and roads we already have into Shenzhen area. So what does it mean to our viewers and readers from Singapore? People think of Johor region. So in a way you can compare it, but it is actually part of Hong Kong. It is not part of another country. It is part of Hong Kong. It is part of China. And then we link Hong Kong with Shenzhen using this to share the technology advancement, etc. So it is new. We already have investors moving into some of the buildings that the government has built. There are also investors looking at building their own technology parks or into new residential areas. It's going to house 2.5 million people once completely filled. And it will actually fuel Hong Kong, the next area of growth, and together with the growth of the Greater Bay Area. People know Hong Kong as a global financial center. Now, of course, Hong Kong's strength has also been a key financial market, as well as a professional services springboard for companies wanting to expand overseas, whether you're from China or from other parts of the world. Traditionally, we've seen a lot of, say, European or Northern American companies using Hong Kong to access Asia and China. And now we are seeing far more also going the other direction, using Hong Kong as a springboard. Now, other than financial or wealth or family offices related industries, in the past few years, we've seen a massive growth in technology companies from Asia and particularly from China wanting to go global. Now, why would they need to come to Hong Kong rather than, say, go directly overseas? Now, for many companies now, it becomes very important not only to raise funding, but also to manage the risk in a place where not only are we connected to the international market, but also known to them as a bridge between China and the rest of the world and Asia and the rest of the world. So they tend to come to Hong Kong to set up their research and development, because Hong Kong, we don't control data flow. We don't control money flow. We don't control currency exchange. So it is exactly like a bridge between, say, China or some of the more controlled economies of ASEAN or Asia as a whole to the rest of the world. So they would come here and use Hong Kong to access this. So we've seen Invest Hong Kong and now also our census data bureau. Every year at the end of the year, we do a survey to look at what non-Hong Kong companies are in Hong Kong. At the end of last year, for such a small city in terms of geographical areas, we've got 11,000 companies at the end of last year whose parents' company are not from Hong Kong. So where are they from? They are either financial companies, professional companies, increasingly more technology companies. We are also having a lot of family offices, as well as consumer brands company. Now, consumer brands company also, because for foreign companies wanting to test the waters into China, they want to go to Hong Kong first because we've got so many tourists and visitors from Chinese mainland. As far as the other direction is concerned, Chinese companies, including consumer brands, also want to use Hong Kong as international, if they are high-tech testing center, certification center. If there are brands, they want to test the waters. Again, we've got 60 million visitors from around the world into Hong Kong to actually see how we could actually access the other markets to see what it's like. So therefore, I think the major growth is, I mentioned technology, and financial continues to be a cornerstone of where we're coming from. And also, of course, many companies from ASEAN come to Hong Kong to actually raise funds. We are the #1 IPO market in the whole world, or way above London or Nasdaq or other markets last year. And we have a very good pipeline going on this year as well. I think when we look at trade flows as a whole, as well as investment flows, people need to be familiar with the system of a base that they're using to expand the business from. So, for example, for Chinese companies or particular Greater Bay Area companies, they tend to have the tendency to come to Hong Kong first before they expand overseas. Now, Hong Kong has a system that's very familiar with our friends in the ASEAN region. We use common law, and we use English as one of our legal languages. And of course, we have a free flow of capital as well as services and goods with no tariffs for most of our goods, except for liquor and tobacco. So necessarily, it is one place where Chinese companies look to manage the risk, to raise capital, and to use as a management springboard before they go into the rest of the ASEAN region, as they have been doing in the past. And likewise, for our ASEAN friends, we have seen an increasing trend recently to not only use Hong Kong as a trading platform with China, but also to use Hong Kong as an investment platform to look at the many opportunities that are now given by the technology growth, by the many opportunities that arise for investors, including family offices or wealth companies that are also using Hong Kong increasingly as a platform to do two-way facilitation.